Maligayang araw mga katipuneros at sa lahat ng mga nanonood saan man sulok ng mundo.
Ngayong taon, ipinagdiriwang natin ang ating kalayaan sa harap ng pandemya. May irony ito.
Secretary Doktora Rosario Berhere.
Magandang hapon po.
Hello everyone, I'm Angel Oxin at gusto ko lang pong batiin ng lahat po na nakikisa at nag-celebrate ng International Youth Week 2020 at syempre
Welcome sa ating pilot episode ng Heart to Heart Talk with the King of Fast Talk. Huwag na nga natin patagalin pa dahil ating makakasama today ay nakilala bilang television host, public speaker, at nagbigay inspirasyon sa karamihan dahil nga talaga nga namang hashtag Make Your Nanay Proud. Ating pag-uusapan ay ang kanyang buhay before entering the entertainment industry and snippets in the art of public speaking. Brace yourselves as we are about to have a heart-to-heart talk with the king of fast talk, Tito Boy Abunda.
Maraming salamat, Kian.
Good day, Tito Boy!
Magandang araw at sa lahat ng mga nakikinig sa atin, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Salamat. This is the first time that I have ever been introduced as the king of fast talk. And I accept that. I embrace that because I invented fast talk. Maraming salamat.
And thank you po. And today makakasama po natin ang different young leaders across the Philippine Archipelago and also isang galuguro mula sa Politeknikong Universidad ng Pilipinas.
Okay, maraming salamat at tayo'y magkakasama ngayong gabi, mga katipuneros. I love
Yes
that word.
po.
Di ba?
Good evening po.
Good evening. Katipunan sa Kartilya, Kabataan sa Kartilya ng Katipunan. Napakagandang pangalan. Good evening. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. So let me start with the most fundamental technique or the most fundamental principle in public speaking, which is to celebrate your core, to celebrate your story, and to celebrate your truth. Sasabihin niyo, Tito Boy, ano naman ang kinalaman ng core, ng aking kwento, ng aking katotohanan sa pagiging public speaker? Define natin ang public speaker is someone who delivers a speech or a message in front of a public. Ang public ay iba-iba ito. Minsan isang public servant, politician speaks before a public, a teacher speaks before his students, a best man speaks before the guests of his brother's wedding. So in any situation where a public is in front of a speaker, that is a public speaking engagement. Kung ilan, minsan 5, 3, 4, 10. When you are in front of the public, you are doing public speaking. So, pag ikaw public speaker at ikay pinatayo sa harap ng tao, halimbawa ikay isang student leader, you were invited to go to a certain stage. When you go on stage, yun ang iniisip mo. This is a technique in public speaking. I am not alone. As you walk into the center of the stage, kasama ko ang buong pamilya ko dito. And that makes you smile with pride. So when you open your mouth and you say, magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat. My name is, and I'm proud to be here. You mean it. You mean every word of it. Dahil totoo yan, hindi ka mag-isa. And then sasabihin sa iyo, I'm going to make them understand my language. I'm going to make them understand my message. Kung kandidato ka, I'm going to make them vote for me. So it's important. I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. Yan ang leksyon na natutunan ko. So I share that with you today. So in public speaking, hindi namin sinasabi na, come to my classes, I will teach you how to do public speaking. I say, come to my classes. I will help you discover your power to tell your story. Today, ang sarap kasi ng pakiramdam nang dinadala ka doon sa karanasan ng nagsasalita sa iyong harapan. So, yung make sense is a handy tip. So, I came from my core. I'm now talking about senses. Ito yung mga techniques. And guys, do not be perfect. Do not be perfect. There's no such thing, even in public speaking, as perfection. Hindi yung, na-mispronounce ko ang word. That's okay. If you mispronounce the word, just say it again. Ay, mali yung syntax ko. Ay, mali yung grammar ko. Say it again. You're not perfect. There's beauty in imperfection. For as long as you are understood, for as long as you deliver your message, go for it. Hindi yung, kanina nga sabi mo nga, Kian, halimbawa, naku, Diyos, ang dami kong tagiyawat. Yeah, that's okay. Embrace that. But don't get bothered by it. That doesn't define your beauty. That doesn't define who you are. That doesn't define your mind. That doesn't define your intellect. Kung may mga tao na pipilitin na hanggang tagiyawat lang, ay problema nila yon. Hindi mo problema yon. But you know how beautiful you are and how intelligent you are certainly has nothing to do with the pimples. And they will be gone sometime soon. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so do not allow anybody to define you. Pag nagkamali ka, that's okay. Correct yourself. Anong una mong naiisip? What comes to mind first? Instinct in public speaking is the verbal reaction to a verbal stimulus. Pag sinabing pansit, what comes to mind? Birthday. Pag sinabing ilaw, what comes to mind? Fiesta. Pag sinabing rosas, Valentine's. Pag sinabing upuan, sala. Pag sinabing bagyo, Yolanda. Pag sinabing instinct, the first things that come to mind. Hindi yung, tinatanong ka, what comes to mind when I say yellow? Because you're buying time. Because you want to be right. Because you want people to like your answer. Because you want to see them applaud. The most effective public speakers take it from there. I will say chair. What comes to mind? Song. Whatever. Go to your experience. That's instinct. If this is the conscious level, the subconscious level is below. That's a beautiful area. In public speaking, when you're able to combine the conscious and the subconscious, panalo ka. As opposed to an exercise that we do that is called naman rationality, which is the state of being logical, which is the state of being reasonable. Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about love and forgiveness. Ako, I've forgiven. I've forgiven them and I've forgiven myself. Dahil ang dami ko rin kasalanan sa sarili ko. I've forgiven those who didn't believe in me. That's done. It's important to forgive. And it's very important to love. And it's very important to make your nanays proud. It's very important to make your nanays proud. Pag sinasabi nila, Tito Boy, how do you want to be remembered? You can forget me as a host. You can forget me as a teacher. You can forget me as a public figure. But if you remember me as someone who encouraged people to make their nanays proud, then I did my job. Make your nanays proud. Because when you make your nanays proud, you make tatay proud. You make your siblings proud. Tito Boy, bakit mga nanay lang? Kasi tatay, lalaki, babae, lahat tayo, anak ng nanay. So make your nanay proud. And this will be a better world. Naalala ko lang yung kwento ni Indra Nui, former president ng PepsiCo. Powerful woman, brilliant woman. She was supposed to come to the Philippines, not Philippines. She was supposed to keynote a Philippine Congress, a conference. Hindi lamang natuloy. It was supposed to happen November 5. She was the first female president of Pepsi. And ang kwento niya napakaganda. She is Indian-American. At the very day she was appointed president of Pepsi, umuwi siya ng bahay. Sabi niya, Ma, her mother was there. I have the greatest news for you. Sabi ng nanay niya, No, Indra. Go to the grocery, buy milk. Your child is crying. He is hungry. In this house, your first job is as a mother. Ma, this is not going to take 1 minute. I just want to tell you the biggest news of my life. No, Indra. Go to the grocery, buy milk, and feed your child. That is your job. Masama ang kanyang loob. She was a bit disappointed, but she went to the grocery, bought milk, came home, fed her child. Baba siya, and then her mother was there. And her mother said, okay, Indra, now you can tell me your story. Sabi ni Indra Nui, this is real. This is a real story. Sabi ni Indra, today, Indra sits in the board of Amazon. She was president of PepsiCo for 12 years. One of the best CEOs in the world. Sabi ni Indra Nui, Ma, I'll tell you my story tomorrow. I'm tired. Sabi ng nanay niya, no, you tell me your story now. So, sa mga loob niya, sabi niya, okay, your daughter was just appointed president of PepsiCo. Sabi ng nanay niya, congratulations. I'm proud of you, my daughter. You studied hard, you worked hard, and you lived hard. You deserve to be president of PepsiCo. Pero sabi ng nanay niya, but stop flattering yourself that you did it alone, because you didn't. You became president of PepsiCo partly because, as a mother, I prayed for you every day. So guys, don't forget, whatever you do in life, you don't do it alone. Somebody out there in your homes praying for your safety, for your health, for your success. And very often, they are our mothers and our fathers and our families. So, to end this, before I entertain your questions, I simply want to say, love. And say, I love you. Because tomorrow is never promised. Say it now. Now, when you go home, when you're with someone you love, say it now. You may not get that chance again to say it, because tomorrow is never promised. As Saint John of the Cross would say, in the evening of our lives, we will all be judged on love. So I love you. Maraming salamat. I will take your questions.
Yes, thank you, Tito Boy. And we, as KKK and Young Leaders, we are, love you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For our first question, Shireen.
Hello po, Tito Boy.
Hello, Shireen.
Thank you for electing us and giving us techniques or your strategies for us to improve in public speaking. So here is my question, Tito Boy. So we all know, Tito Boy, that you are one of the excellent and eminent hosts in the Philippines. So can you share us, Tito Boy, the first time you entered entertainment industry and in show business, how did you feel and how did you cope with anxieties and demands from the people?
Paano ko ba sasagutin yan? Ang haba kasi siya rin ng kwento ko. To answer that question, I'll tell you the story of how I started at the Metropolitan Theater. Nag-cross-enroll ako noon kasi huminto na ako sa Ateneo noon dahil wala na akong pabayad. Gusto ko makahanap ng trabaho. Hirap ako. Makahanap ng trabaho para makapagpatuloy ako ng pag-aaral. Nag-cross-enroll ako noon sa Lyceum of the Philippines. Sumubok ako noon sa Mapua, yung magkakatabi. Mapua, Letran, Lyceum, walang tumanggap sa amin. Tinanggap lang ako, cross-enroll parang 6 units sa Lyceum of the Philippines. So nag-cross-enroll ako doon. Ang Metropolitan was about to open. Ang audition nila ay nangangailangan sila ng chorus, boys and girls. Chorus, yung mga chuwari-wari-wa sa likod. Sabi ko, subukan ko nga ito. So with my friends, ay, kailangan daw ng chorus. So, ang requirements nila, kailangan sumayaw at kailangan sumayaw, kumanta at umarte. Sabi ko, kaya to, bahala na. So, merong choreographer, pakikita sa yung step. So, susunod ka. Siguro nakuha ko ng konti. Pangalawa, the night before that, inaral ko yung kanta. Alam niyo yung kanta ni Mrs. Marcos? Dahil sa'yo. Kasi madali I memorized that. So, kinanta ko, Sabi nung nagpapa-audition, mga 2 lines pa lang ako, thank you. Hello? Sabi ko, excuse me, pwedeng patapusin mo ako. Buong gabi ko to inaral eh. His name is Ricky Dalo. He teaches now at the University of the Philippines. Hanggang ngayon, pag kunikwento ko to, tawa siya ng tawa kasi hindi raw niya alam kung anong i-react niya. Ay, atrebido naman ang batang ito. Gusto pang ko, hindi naman siya marunong kumanta. Ako naman, parang ang feeling ko, hindi na rin lang naman ako tatanggapin dito. Kakantahin ko na ng buo para magdusa kayong lahat. Kinanta ko. The end of the story, Shireen, natanggap ako as a chorus. Siguro, nagustuhan nila yung pagiging atrebido ko na mabuhay si Juan Tamad, mabuhay, ganun ang... At kinakausap ko ang mga direktor. Sabi ko, I remember the great Ben Cervantes, Jonas Sebastian. It was a children's theater of the Metropolitan Theater. Direct, excuse me, halimbawa may linya. Patay na si Batibot. Sabi ko, pwede po, ako na lang ang sisigaw niyan. Why? Because every time I'd invite my friends, sabi ko, huy, pag narinig niyong patay na si Batibot, ako yun. Kasi siyempre may mga makeup, may mga headdresses. So akin yung mga linyang, mga kababayan, patay na si Batibot. Ganun. So yung mga kaibigan, huy, nakita ka namin. Yun. That's how I started. And then I went backstage. I was discovered for the backstage. Naging PA ako. I became a production assistant. Ang tawag nila noon, assistant stage manager. My job was to take care of the props. Tagabilang ng mga kawayan, tagabilang ng mga costumes, tagabilang, tagahugas ng kung ano-ano dyan, tagatawag ng mga artista for rehearsals. But believe me, I was doing my job so well. Until, one day, pinatawag ako nung head ng Metropolitan Theater. I was very young. I was, about 20? 90? I don't know. I don't know how old I was. And, yeah, doon. Tinawag ako. I went to the Hilton. Pavilion na ngayon yan. Doon sa may Luneta. Room 1107. I will not forget that room. The great Miss Conching Sunico called for me because she wanted to meet with me. Sabi niya sa akin, are you Boy Abunda? I said, ma'am. Hindi nakatingin nakalingon na gano'n. Yes, ma'am. My name is Boy Abunda. Sabi niya, do you want to work for me? Ay, Diyos ko, Panginoon. Yes, ma'am. Di ba? Tapos tahimik. Hindi ako tinitingnan ng lady. And then I went out of the room. Kalimutan ko, ano kayang trabaho? So, bumalik ako. Cora was the name of the secretary. I said, Cora, pwede bang pumasok ako ulit? Tatanong ko lang anong trabaho ko. So I went back. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, I would like to find out what I'm supposed to do. At doon niya sinabi, for the first time, she said, PR. Siyempre, gusto ko malaman. Sabi, ma'am, what is PR? And for the first time, nilingon niya ako. Sabi niya, looked at me in the eye and said, I will teach you. That started my career. And there was no turning back. Mahirap ang pinagdaanan ko. Oh, sobra. Shireen. Kaya huwag kayo matakot. Go on, move forward. Thank you. Mahaba lang ako sumagot. Pasensya na kayo.
In connection with that, Tito Boy, what is your principle in life that give you the urge to continue reaching those goals despite of criticisms and anxieties?
Klaro kasi sa puso at isipan ko that I wanted to give the best life to my mother. Klaro yun. Hindi ako umatras sa kahit anong laban. May mga inatrasan naman ako na iba na hindi kailangan kasi may mga laban na nakakapagod lang. You know, may mga laban naman na kailangan para makaursa ka. You will be able to move forward. But it was very clear in my mind, lalo na nung nasa Maynila ako, that my goal was to give my mother the best life. So lahat ko kinaya. But if you're talking about philosophy, if you're talking about my favorite quote aside from love, ako parati kong sinasabi, kahit anong mangyari sa akin dito sa Maynila, kahit nung umpisa ng pandemya, in the beginning of the pandemic, sabi ko, for as long as I know my way back home, I'm okay. Basta alam ko lamang ang daan pa uwi. Safe ako.
Hi Tito Boy, good evening po. So first of all, bago ko po itanong yung question ko, yun, thank you very much po, napakaganda ng lahat ng sinabi nyo. At talagang nagagamit siya ng mga kabataan. Pero may isa po kung gusto ring hingin po yung side nyo. Sabi nyo po kanina, nung nag-audition po kayo, nalimutan ko po kung saan, pero yung kumanta po kayo, tapos sinabi nyo po, pwede bang patapusin mo muna ako? Ganon. Tapos, sabi niyo po, okay lang mag-atribida, ganun-ganon. And naniniwala po kasi ako doon mas magandang ipakita niyo po yung sarili niyo kaysa itago niyo. Pero kasi po ngayon po, bilang isang kabataan, naramdam po namin ang lipunan ngayon. Kapag po kasi atribida ka talaga, marami pong tao ang magbababa sa'yo, maraming tao ang mambabash sa'yo kasi atribida ka at hindi normal sa kanila ang pagiging pagpapakita ng totoo. Ano po ang masasabi niyo po doon? Kasi siguro po nung unang panahon, okay po siya, pero ngayon po sa nararamdaman ng mga kabataan ngayon, pag po pinakita ang totoong ikaw, ay may mambabash at may mambabash.
Okay. Ang unang sagot ko dyan ay the way to solve it. Ilan ba tayo ngayon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hindi ka nga atribida wala kang ang ginagawa, binabash ka at dinadown ka. So the first answer to that is let's not do it to each other. You are the change you want to see in the world. Sabi nga ni Gandhi. Kasi wala ka namang control doon talaga sa reaksyon, sa behavior ng iba. But what you have control over is how you react. Diba? Alam natin yon. So how do you answer that question? Especially in this generation, walo na tayo. Let's make that resolve. Hindi ako mambababa, hindi ako mambabash, hindi ako mangmamaliit ng kapwa. That's number 1. And number 2, if you have the chance, if you have a sphere of influence, kaibigan ba ito, kapatid ba ito, kapitbahay ba ito, say it. Say that lesson. That what is being done is wrong. Bawa, pag may nagsabi, katawa, kilala mo ba si Aling ganito? Diyos ko, parang luka-luka magdamit yan bla 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 bla. Sabihin mo, alam mo, hindi maganda yan. Kaya natin, masaya naman siya. You know, that's your little way of changing this world. Alam mo ang partner ko si Bong. Halimbawa, because Bong and I have been together for a long time. Manila boy si Bong Alam mo, pag nabibisaya ako, pinagtatawanan ako. Until I called him out and I said, you know, Bobong, it's wrong. That's a regional slur. Hindi naman kami tumatawa sa inyo pag nagbibisaya kayo tapos katawa-tawa ang Bisaya nyo. Now, he's very sensitive. Pero paulit-ulit ko lang sinasabi, he doesn't do it anymore. Halimbawa, isa pa, LGBT discourse naman ito, Andre. Pag sinabi halimbawa, may naririnig ka, bakla, paabot naman dyan. It's said with fondness. Sometimes it's even said with love. Pero call that out. Uy, wag naman bakla. Alam ko mahal mo kaibigan mo. Pangalanan mo. May pangalan yan. Di ba? Call him by his name. You know, I know it's said with love. Oy, Tito Boy, kaibigan ko naman matal. Kahit na, tawagin mo naman. Oo, tawagin mo. Boy, paabot naman yan. Even with fondness. Wag naman, bakla, halika. I know that you don't mean ill. Okay? So, yung bashing, mababawasan yan. Ngayon, mababawasan yan ng 8. You know, yung 8, magiging 11 tayo, magiging 16 tayo. But we have to be active in our sphere of influence. And the moment you are being bashed, to a certain point, if you want to fight back, fight back. If you know you're just gonna get tired by fighting back, alam mo, Andre, sinabi ko kanina, go to your truth. That will protect you. Oo, that will protect you. Bash mo na ako, but this is my truth. Remember, silence is power. Oh, silence. Kasi may mga laban kasi may mga tao talaga na akala nila natural yung manlait. Hindi, that's not natural. Oo, hindi. Make it known. Halimbawa, nasaktan ka, nasaktan naman ako sa sinabi mo kanina, huwag mo naman ako tawaging pangit kahit pabiro. Oo, kasi hindi ako pangit. Hindi mo lang siguro ako type. Pero masakit yun. Tell your friends. Because how we behave to each other is how we behave in social media. And even braver. Di ba? So yun, Andre, ang aking pananaw. We cannot change the world overnight. We cannot change the world immediately, but we can influence each other.